For years, our church, like many, commemorated Easter by putting on a production. The play would recall the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. That week was like family camp. We ate, slept, and practiced all the time. One of my favorite scenes is when Mary Magdalene returns to the tomb to find it empty. In her sadness, she has an encounter with whom she thinks, at the time, is the gardener. And when Jesus reveals himself and commissions her to go tell the disciples, it gets more interesting. The disciples don't believe her resurrected message, but decide to check it out for themselves. What they discovered was astounding. What did John see that made him believe? None of the disciples up until that point believed that Jesus would rise from the dead. Let's look back at the story. Mary and the other women came down to finish the embalming of Jesus. 3 days had gone by, and before the face lost its beauty, they were going to cover it like the rest of the body. The napkin had been laying on the face, and when Mary arrived, she saw that someone had been there. The tomb was opened. When the disciples were told about the tampered tomb, John saw something that made him believe. What was it? It was recorded that Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea brought about 100 pounds of myrrh and aloe spices, and wound the body of Jesus in the cloth wrappings with the spices. Think about this for a moment. As they wrapped the cloth strip around and around Jesus' body, they poured in 100 pounds of spices into the wrappings and upon the body. All these liquid spices would soon harden and would cause the cloth wrappings to become an encrusted cocoon around the body of Jesus. All the wrappings followed the contours of the body. It would be a tight, solid covering that would protect the body, and from which the body could not be pulled by any human means. The only way, humanly speaking, a body could be removed from such encrusted wrappings would be by cutting the cloth from end to end and laying back each side so the body then could be pulled from its wrappings. When the disciples saw the linen clothes lying, uncut, undisturbed, it convinced them that the body had been miraculously, supernaturally removed. If a human had stolen the body, he would have been forced to slit open the bindings in order to remove the body. I once heard it said that a seed must die and decay in the ground before any harvest can appear. I know that Christians who have gone on before us are today walking around in youthful, vigorous, spiritually healthy bodies. I believe that no one actually goes to the grave, long before the body is ever placed there. The person who lived inside the body is gone. When I looked at my husband in the casket, instinctively I knew my loved one was not lying there. Scripture teaches us that when a Christian dies, he's absent from the body and present with the Lord. Now that's something to celebrate. This is Linda Lewis reminding you that there are many symbols that represent this joyous occasion, from the cross we wear around our neck or the hot cross buns we eat on Good Friday. But nothing is as uplifting as this one true fact. He lives. Jesus Christ has risen, and that's enough reason for me to celebrate. He has risen indeed.